that will be interesting.
You want too much of that?
You won't be working that day.
Everyone gets the day off, don't we? I can still come to Boston.
No, your announcement said that you're going to be talking about Hanukkah.
Fine, it's good. All good. Okay, good evening everyone and welcome. Happy Hanukkah, Hanukkah Sameach. Tonight we are going to discuss a little bit about the Parsha and a little bit about Hanukkah. Okay? So basically this Parsha is obviously Parsha's Mikeitz. Mikeitz, right? That's the name of the Parsha. What is and who is the central theme and personality of this Parsha Mikeitz? Yosef. Yosef is getting out of the pit. Yosef is being brought to Paro. Yosef is becoming second to king. It's all about Yosef, right?
Yeah.
And what is the connection between Yosef and Hanukkah? Anybody? You can make it up, it's fine. What is the relationship between Yosef and Hanukkah?
Yosef was Jewish, and Hanukkah is his descendant. Some of the kings of his couple generations rebelled against
No. Okay. That could have been Reuven, it could have been Shimon, and it wouldn't have to be necessarily Yosef. Obviously, every Jew is affected by the Hanukkah story. And, every Jew comes from one of the 12 tribes. So if it would be Reuven or Shimon or Yehuda and happened to be Yosef, so Yosef is the one. But it's all connected to everyone. What's so special about Yosef class?
Yes.
So what is the connection between Yosef and Hanukkah? The Hebrew name Yosef was given why? When Rachel finally gave birth to your son, after many, many years being married to Yaakov, and seeing your sister having all the children, and she was barren for many years. She finally gave birth to a son, and she named the son Yosef. And why did she name him Yosef? What did she say? Yosef Hashem li ben Achem. Third day and the second day and the 8th day to the first day is the idea that we are what? Adding with light. Last night there was 3 candles, tonight we already lit 4 candles, and then tomorrow I'm going to light 5 candles. We keep on enhancing, never stopping, and not being satisfied on being in one place. That's what Yosef is related to the story of Hanukkah. But there's another connection between this Parsha and Hanukkah. The Parsha begins with the story of dreams. Pharaoh had a dream. So they tell Pharaoh, Yosef, says the Parsha, is being rushed out of the pit. A pit, not a cell, not a, a beautiful room, lit in the ground. That's how they kept Yosef as a prisoner. He's being rushed out from the prison, which according to our tradition in the Talmud, it happened actually on Rosh Hashanah. He's brought to Pharaoh. Pharaoh shares with them his dream. 7 fat cows, 7 skinny cows, and onward. And he offers Pharaoh the interpretation with advice. And this is that the story continues. We offer and learn and try to find interpretation for dreams. In the Talmud, there is actually a number of pages in Tractate Brachot in the end, which specifically deals with the interpretation of dreams, meaning of dreams. And in the Talmud you can find contradictory statements about dreams, whether dreams are valid or invalid, something to be concerned about or not to be concerned about. Depends what kind of dreams, early in the morning, late at night, after a heavy meal, before the meal. There's all kinds of, this is not, Freud did not invent the psychology of dreams. Describes it as a dream. Shir HaMa'alot B'shuv Hashem Et Shivat Zion Ahinu Kecholmim. A song of ascent. When the Lord will return the exiles of Zion, we will have been like a dreamers. We will have been like dreamers. Ahinu Kecholmim. We sing it on Shabbat before Birkat Hamazon. This is from Tehillim, matter of fact, in chapter 126 in Tehillim. What does it mean when we're going to return? It's like a dream coming true. But there's a reason why the word dream is mentioned specifically. So Hasidus in Kabbalah explains that the old definition of Galus, state of exile, versus the state of redemption, Geula, is compared to being in a dream world. What is the idea of a dream? A dream is when things which are not real seem to be real. The unreality is suddenly becoming as a reality. And all of a sudden, the clock rings and why did you just have to ring? It was so good. I was just coming to, the discussion was so great. I just met this person. Why did it have to happen? And then you wake up and you say to yourself, Sigurnish mit Gurnish, just a dream. Says King David, when we are going to return to exile, from the exiles, we're going to return to Zion, we're going to understand then what Galus was. Galus, exile, was a state of dream. Things appear to us as... That's what, when we say, Yoinu kecholmim, we were like dreamers, we will look back on the state of exile and say, what was it? We thought that this experience, this consciousness, this reality that we were experiencing was real. There was nothing. We just woke up and you open your eyes and you say, what was it? It wasn't even true. It wasn't even true. The trouble were not real trouble. And the situations were not real situations. They were presented to us in order to deal with them, in order to overcome them. Why were we taking them so seriously?
Jews were not taken to the diaspora.
Exactly. That's what the whole book of Tehillim is. It talks about the future, the near future, the far future. The book of Tehillim was written by Ruach HaKodesh, with divine inspiration. So this is the songs which is describing the future. For example, it says in the same chapter, it says, Shuva Hashem et shviteinu ka'afikim b'negev, azorim b'dima b'rina yikzoru. He talks about that all those who were in captivity are returning with joy, with song, light candles. Take, for example, Shabbos. Shabbos candles. Where is the Shabbos candles supposed to be placed? What is the purpose for the Shabbos candles? The main purpose of Shabbos is to bring light into your house, for you to enjoy. Either, as our sages say, that we don't want you to trip over furniture or a stone, an obstacle in the house. which that will interfere with the peace and serenity of the house. Right? So the purpose of the Shabbos candles is actually to make sure that it wasn't done every night. Many nights people used to go sleep and it turned dark. Also, candles were expensive. There were certain times in history that a candle was a commodity. It came out in the 70s with a campaign which girls from the age of 3 should already light candles before Shabbos. The Rabbi spoke about it, that used to be the common Jewish practice, not only like it's done by many that only after they are married they are lighting candles, but even from being a young girl, as sisters, and even my mother did not light candles when she was a girl. The first candle she lit was when she got married to my father. But my sisters are all lighting candles in the age of 3 because they are Lubavitcher Hasidim. So Rabbi said, and he explained that there was a time in history that to get a hold of a candle was involved a major expense. And because of the candles being expensive, that's why people kept the mitzvah of lighting candles to the minimal. And for the minimal, it's enough that the mother in the house is the one. And he also said that by the girl lighting her candle first, then she learns to respect her mother's candles. As saying, the house cannot be satisfied with mine. We need to get mom's. However, if she would have been the one lighting second after mom, then your response would be, mom's fire is not enough. I have to come and add to that which my mother does, and that will develop a so-called disrespectful notion in children towards their parents, and if they add to their lives. Very, very interesting. And the Rebbe took this whole, the practical method of lighting candles. But either way, we are lighting candles on Shabbos. The purpose is clear. It's called Oinek Shabbos, the pleasure of Shabbos, the delightment of Shabbos. So the whole purpose of the candle is what? For us to benefit from. To enjoy. Same thing is obviously when it comes to the other candle that we light every Shabbos. The candle of the end of Shabbos, called Havdalah candle. What happens when we light the Havdalah candle? So obviously the candle is lit to show that till now we were forbidden to light fire and now it's permissible. So a part of the end of Shabbos experience is that we light a candle. Some people think that we're just waving goodbye to the candles. It's not true. It seems like we're saying goodbye, which is true. And on the level we say goodbye to Shabbos. But it's not to go like this. What's the game of it? There is a practical halachic. We are placing our fingernails in front of the candle is to say the candle is something which is going to be used for something. What is it being used for? Since it's after Shabbos and you have what are you going to do? Count money? You don't have money in your pocket yet. Shabbos just ended. So what do? You again, what's the idea of that candle? It's not just to have a candle. It's a candle which is now going to serve a purpose. And what is the purpose going to be? That I am going to benefit something from that fire. Comes the Beis HaMikdash. Obviously, the old menorah is to commemorate the menorah of the temple. It brought light into the Heichal, which is the main chamber of the Beis HaMikdash, of the temple. The candles were the ones who provided the light. Comes She'asita la'avotenu. What do we say? Ve'ein lanu reshut leishtamesh ba'em. And we are not for use of them. Elo liroison bilvat. But only to look at them. You can't read a book next to the candle. You can't count your money next to the candle. You can't enjoy your latkes next to your candle. So why are you lighting it? Very honorable place in the menorah. It's there in the center, in the middle, taller than others. And this itself requires an explanation. But if you want to ask him, so what's your name? What's your purpose? He's going to tell you, I'm not the chef. I did not prepare the food. I am not responsible on anything else, rather than just making sure that the candles have a light to kindle them. That's the shamash. And the reason is that we are concerned that if we're not going to have a shamash, you may, Menorah is going back hundreds and thousands of years, and they all have that shamash that's serving candles. If you ask him, why are you here? Who needs you? What is the answer going to be? I mean, I'm needed. What's wrong? If I'm not here, somebody may use a pre-lit candle in order to light the others. That cannot be done. Manishtana Neres Chanukah from all other candles that we light, including the candles of the temple. That all of them are being made to take usage of them, take advantage of them. Why? You're going to forget later. It's okay.
When you light the, I can't believe I did this and now you're telling me. So when you light the candles, with the shamash, and then you sit there at the table with the lamp on to read Tehillim, and then you glance up and you see one of the candles went out. You're supposed to light it with the shamash, aren't you?
Right.
Yeah, it's amazing. Okay.
You learned something tonight.
I did, and I'll never forget it.
Now I know a class was not wasted.
But if the shamus goes out,
Then you light the shamash again?
and you light it with a match.
Shamash is always on?
The shamash is what?
Is always on, is the same light?
Well, this leads to a second question, which is a very famous question, or maybe less famous, or is famous, but every Hanukkah we speak about it. You can't speak on Hanukkah without mentioning this question. Just like we're not supposed to enjoy the candles, so Hanukkah is about not benefiting, not enjoying. Then the question is, Hanukkah is the only holiday that we are not told anywhere to enjoy a good meal. People have latkes, people have parties, all wonderful. But there's no requirement in Jewish law, which is usually the symbol. And on Sukkot, what's the mitzvah of Sukkot? To eat in the Sukkah. Obviously, Purim, it's all about eating and drinking. Adel Yada. Jewish holiday. They wanted to kill us. God saved us. Let's eat. Right? And what happens to Hanukkah? How come there's no requirement? There's no, again, not to. There's no requirement of enjoying something. Just like we're not supposed to enjoy from the candles. It doesn't say you're not supposed to have a meal, but there's no mitzvah to have a meal. The Shulchan Aruch clearly only mentions to have those who have latkes fried in oil. Doesn't have a meal.
Is it because of the temple being destroyed?
No, the temple was not destroyed.
Created.
The temple was actually rededicated. It's a time of joy. The temple was contaminated, and then they came in, rededicated. That's actually one of the translation of the word Chanukah in Hebrew means dedication or rededication. And that's what happened on Hanukkah. If that's what happened on Hanukkah, let's eat. Let's enjoy. Usually every year we speak a little bit about this exception of Hanukkah. Latkes. Sometimes we won't like them, and our custom is to sit a half hour every night except Friday because we have to go into Shabbos. But you sit next to the candles, and the Rebbe said, even though you don't benefit from the candles, you should sit next to them and listen to the story what the candles are telling you. Einen was die Lichterlach der Zell. That was the expression. Zachzuren, to listen, lakshiv, to what these candles are telling us. The candles are telling us a story. And if you listen carefully to the story of Hanukkah, what the candles are telling you, you're going to realize that Hanukkah is all this simply to preserve our existence, our physical existence. They wanted to get rid of us. There were bad people out there who did not want us in this world. Anti-Semites, pharaohs, Hamans, Amalek, Achashverosh. We fought, right? It was a life or death issue. We could have died. Miraculously, we survived. And that's why we celebrate. Fighting a war is not only a Jewish concept, that we fought in order to have the experience of so-called freedom of religion. Freedom of religion. Allowing us to know is what God wants from us. It wasn't a fight about land. It wasn't a fight about our existence. It was a fight, we are Jews, and we want to keep God's commandments, and we have the right to keep His commandments, and if you don't let us, we're going to have to fight about it. But it wasn't about our existence. It was about our Jewish existence. Are we going to exist because they're allowing me to exist, but at the same time not able to experience my Jewishness? Then I'm not interested. I want to be. And that was the war. The war was not to protect the Jews. The old war of Hanukkah was to protect Judaism. Not the Jews, not the Jewish people. Usually we pay attention to when, it's not hidden knowledge that we for sure pay at least a couple $1,000 a mortgage a month for a house which is worth $1 million, which is normal in today's life. And this is Jewish couples, married couples, and they come and they have, for example, a bar mitzvah for their son. And we talk about maybe to have the son purchase his own tefillin. Tefillin, I'm going to put it every day. Let him at least have a pair of tefillin, so when he wants to put them on, he should be able to put them on. How much are the tefillin? You want a nice pair of tefillin? It can cost you $700. No, then never. But I know and you know the minimal bills that you pay for a house, for electricity, for gas, your car payment. We all know what it means to walk into a Trader Joe's or to a QFC in today's day and age. You're never going to buy anything. You're never going to come out if he didn't spend at least $100 for nothing. I mean, the carriage is still so almost empty. Whatever it is, I'm saying, I mean, I don't have to explain why it goes. And here they suddenly become, and why is it? It's very, no, I understand why it comes from. Because tefillin deals with us and understand the people. I can understand the attitude, but I can't understand, I shouldn't say what I can't understand. It's hard for me to comprehend, especially parents which read and know and are involved in giving their son a bar mitzvah or a wedding, whatever it is. Like the disconnect, that this is a need, this is like a mortgage. But it's not a mortgage, it's less than a mortgage, because a mortgage you pay every month for 30 years. This is a quarter or 20% of your mortgage payment once in a lifetime. Are you crazy? You should buy $1,000 pair of tefillin. You need a second?
Yeah, sure. Take it.
Huh?
You can take your time, whatever.
We're
whatever
finishing.
works.
Meantime, sit down and learn something. Here, right here. Ever said it before? Someone's going to come and sell you air in a bag. Air, $500. Would you buy it? Would you buy it for? No.
Say this again, but you need it.
Air,
Only,
avir.
but only if you're on spaceship, yeah.
No.
You wouldn't buy it. Why wouldn't you buy it? Because I have enough air, and I don't feel it's necessary to buy it. I breathe Baruch Hashem fine. But it's air, and it's this, and you can give me 500 reasons why it's important. I'm not going to spend $1 on it. I have to buy matzah. I don't buy matzah. What's going on with you? This is your spiritual needs for so cheap. I heard a story of when they said the two souls were meeting up midway, making its way back from living a life in this world. As they say, abgelebt 80 Jahre, lived 80 years, 90 years, 100 years, and now time to return. Midway up, that soul meets another soul, which is making its way down, fresh into a body. A new baby is going to be born. They meet up. Start a conversation. What's going on down in this world? Is it possible to get? The soul says, tzitzis. 20 cupcakes, you get a pair of tzitzis. What tzitzis? A couple of dollars, you can get a pair of tzitzis. Tefillin. Really? And the soul is coming down, is trying to swiftly make its way down to this world. To realize that, the opportunities are so available. And the soul going up screams, don't rush, don't rush. You're going to come down to this world, you're going to realize, until you're going to make up a couple $100 to buy tefillin, until you're going to make a few. We don't preoccupy ourselves with studying God's Torah and keeping Shabbos and all these holy things. Stay away from holiness. Stay away from purity. We went on a war. Yehuda, Maccabi, with his chevra, got together and says, absolutely not. Matisyahu, Yochanan Kohen Gadol. And that was the war of Hanukkah. Oil. There was plenty of oil in the temple to light as many menorahs you needed. But there was only one cruse of oil which remained pure. And that was the screws they were using. Per se, light on its own. The light of Torah, the light of mitzvah, the light of neshama. This is what we are celebrating on Hanukkah. Publicizing it on our cars, on our windows, letting the whole world know that we are people which are not just Jews, we are celebrating Judaism. This is what Hanukkah is. Hanukkah takes us out of the dream of Golus. Hanukkah being shines into Golus, the darkness of the sleep of the Kizat. $40. I think I'm fine. I'm going to give it to you for free. Oh, no, let's think. And the problem is not the money. Believe me, guys, it's not about the money. It's about priorities. Hanukkah is putting us on the right priority. Is spirituality important for us? Is it a part of our life? Is it a part of our life? Or it's something that we dream about, would have loved to, I would have liked to, if I can. Not that he gives me, I give him, and that's how he supports me, he's allowing me to give him. Shloyach. Thank you. Rabbi Shloilom, we are in a day of Hanukkah. It's a beautiful holiday. Everyone is in a good mood on Hanukkah. It's not, I'm thinking even my kid, I ask him, what's the other Hanukkah? But it's not really much going on. We light a candle, we sing song on the menorah. It's not like they go to school regularly. They are up 7 o'clock, they're going to school. They come